Live in the state of the wish fulfilled with this authentic relating and manifestation combo where you both get to build your relational skill sets, experience intimacy with someone that you love, or maybe get to know a stranger and bring your dreams to life. If you're interested in doing any of this live, please check out the links in the description and the comments below, where you can find online workshops, in-person workshops, and much more. We'll be using some authentic relating games to explore some manifestations and make them feel as if they're here now. So grab a friend, grab a partner, grab a stranger, and let's get started. Of course, as always, we will start with some connect to self, receiving a slow, gentle breath to your center, maybe softening your gaze or closing your eyes if that feels good to you. Mm. Noticing what's here in your experience in this moment. And seeing, can you say yes to whatever is here? Can you say yes to the different thoughts, feelings, sensations? And if you find yourself saying no, can you embrace that no? Mm. Receiving a few more gentle breaths into your center and giving your experience some space to be here. And when you're ready, you can slowly let gently some light into your eyes and looking around your environment, taking it in. And as you're ready, coming into connection with the person here with you. Maybe you're looking in their eyes or maybe somewhere else. Maybe you allow yourself to go inward for a moment and come back into connection as you're ready. Receiving a breath together. And one of you are going to raise your hand. And the person who raised their hand will be the first speaker, and the other person will be the first listener. So, first speaker, you're going to share something I've been wishing for recently is. You're going to share for about a minute and a half. And listener, as you are being with your speaker, you are just going to stay in silence, taking in what they share, even if that means you're in silence together for quite a while. and just allow whatever naturally comes from your speaker to come without your prompting or prodding. Your job really is just to be a vessel and a receiver of what your speaker has to share. All right, speaker, 1.5 minutes. Something that I've been wishing for recently is bringing that expression to a close. Listener, now you get to give a gift back. Do you have a moment to ask your speaker what's important to you about that? And speaker, you have another 1.5 minutes to share why that's important to you. Coming back into silence. Listener, you now get to reflect. Something that's sticking with me is what's really staying with you about what your speaker just shared. You have a minute. And receiving a breath together. Hmm. Speaker, you now get to share impact. What do you notice happening in you having just heard what the listener shared? How was it to receive that? Listener, you get to ask another question to your speaker and receive the answer. And you're going to ask your speaker, how would it feel to have this? What would you think? Who would you be if you had this? And speaker, you're going to answer. The listener, you'll ask. Speaker, you'll answer. And listener, you will just be with the answer. So, ending that expression. Listener, you get to give one final gift before we switch roles. And that is to share something I think I'm getting about you is you've heard your speaker share quite a bit about themselves. What do you think you get about them and what they value? 1 minute. Receiving a breath together as you bring this expression to a close. Then switching roles. So if you were listening, now you're the speaker. If you were the speaker, now you're listening. A new speaker, you can start. Something I've been wishing for recently is 1.5 minutes. Wrapping up that sentence, listener, you now get to ask your speaker what's important to you about that. And speaker, you get to answer. You have about 1.5 minutes for this. Coming back into silence, listener, you now get to share what's really sticking with me is what's staying with you and what your speaker has shared with you so far. Receiving a breath together. Speaker, get to share impact. What was it like to receive that reflection? 1 minute. And bringing that to a close. Listener, get to ask, who would it help you be? How would you feel? What would you do if you already had this? And speaker, you get to answer. You have 1.5 minutes. And bringing that to a close. Listener, you now get to share. Something I think I get about you is for 1 minute. Receiving a breath together. And taking off the rolls. You now have an open flow debrief where you just both get to share what that was like and what's alive now in this connection. 3 minutes. And thanks for joining. Editing magic here. I hope that you enjoyed your experience. And I just wanted to remind you that these last questions in each round of who would you be, how would you think, this is your way of getting into the state of the person who already has these desires. And so this is your reminder to stay in the state with the person, return to this state as often as you can. This is the manifestation piece around this authentic relating and manifestation mashup. So enjoy, and maybe I'll see you at a live workshop soon.